To all drivers important, if you are on the road for the UK, you'll not be paid. John should have told you by now. Do not work for, as you will not be paid. John has stolen 4,000 out of the account, had no idea what he'd done and left Pineapple last week. John is in full control, but we need to be wary about being paid. It's not guaranteed. See the thief for any wages. That is a big thing to say.
Yes.
Now, you reasonably believe that to be true at the time.
Yes.
Now, that is libelous unless you can prove to me that you believed he acted dishonestly. Do you believe that?
Yes, I do.
I think you're probably right that you believe that. I'll forward the bank statements to prove it. Also, John's saying I had a gambling problem. Did you say that?
No, Judge.
What's that referring to, please, sir?
I said to John, what have you done with the money that I've given you? What have you done with it? Have you got a gambling problem or have you been using £1,000 a night prostitutes? And he said that he didn't have a gambling problem and then insinuated and started telling people that I had a gambling problem, hence why I gambled.
How do you know this?
Because I'd heard it from other drivers and from what he had told other agencies, other companies that we've been dealing with.
Had you ever falsely disclosed to other agencies that Chris had a gambling problem or was somebody who habitually visited prostitutes? Yes.
No, Judge.
Now, this got out of hand. In addition to emptying the company account of £900, you also took a laptop. Where is it?
I've now got that.
Where is it?
It's underneath this desk, Judge.
You've got it?
Oh, yes, Judge.
Oh, how splendid. Now, why do you say that you're entitled to keep that laptop?
Because, Judge, when John took over the £4,000 out of the business, he was never going to give that money back to me. He sent that laptop was sent back to me, and I thought, well, as you've taken £4,000 out of the business, I'm still now 14,000. Well, at the time, £4,000 worse off. I'll keep the laptop. I did look at trying to sell it on eBay and be lucky to get £350 for it.
In other words, it's a business asset you're entitled to keep because he's taken £4,000.
From the business.
You're entitled to. This laptop, it seems to me, was acquired prior to the start of the business. It's what he brought into the business. Now, tell me what your situation is now financially. Have you lost reputation because of this?
I have indeed, Judge.
What's happened?
I was trying to get full-time work back in recruitment. I did manage to get a job in January. I lasted 8 days and then I was mysteriously let go.
Have you been going about town, I'll put it that way, into agencies and that sort of thing, and doing your best to blacken John's name?
No.
Now, your counterclaim, sir, just to be clear, what do you want? How much? What's your counterclaim for?
The cost of the replacement of the laptop.
Can I see it?
What, the laptop?
Have you got it?
Yes, Judge.
Let's assume, for argument's sake, that I have a problem with your second IOU agreement.
Yes, Judge.
But I find the first one thoroughly and utterly and entirely enforceable and worth £5,000. You understand that the consequence is, if I find that that is his personal asset, I would have to take off the value of the laptop. That would be my legal requirement. Or, even though I could not force you to do this, you could simply hand it over and you could be the beneficiary of the full sum of what you're legally entitled to.
Yes, Judge.
What would you rather do?
I'd rather give him back the laptop.
You have to have the laptop back?
Yes, Judge.
How splendid. Michelle, would you mind?
Thank you.
Last question before I rule. Chris, you've made some allegations against John. You've called him a liar and a thief, and the worst of the worst. John, it's been uncomfortable listening. How do you feel about the things he said about you? Have you lied?
No, Judge.
Chris, you entered into a business arrangement with John, and like all things in life, you should have listened to your mother.
I should have done.
The good news, and this is not you who did it, it's he who did it. You lent him £5,000 of your personal money. Had that been company money, your case would be over. I have no difficulty whatsoever in coming to the conclusion that that's an enforceable agreement of £5,000. And so, consequently, it hasn't been paid. The money is owing now. There is no chance of him paying it. He has made that admission. Therefore, this court has no difficulty immediately in awarding you £5,000. But I have to carry on, because you've got a second agreement, which was an IOU. The circumstances of claiming that IOU were unfortunate and were it seems to me, delivered in rage. I also think it seems to me that at the time he would have signed anything, and I would have had difficulty in coming to the conclusion that you were entitled to the full 10,000. But for the purposes of this court, it's irrelevant. The only reason it matters is because that gentleman's counterclaim was for the value of the computer. Now that he has it back, I have to dismiss that counterclaim and award you the full £5,000 with you knowing you got your computer back. Understood?
Yes, Judge.
Sir, the moral to this story, it's been a costly lesson for you, but the good news is you've met Judge Rinder, got a bit of advice, and I hope you'll carry on listening to Pat.
I
Correct?
will do, Judge.
Award of this court is £5,000. And I hope the two of you find independent success moving forward.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Judge.
Judge.
Chris was awarded the court maximum of £5,000. Defendant John's counterclaim was dismissed. Let's find out how both parties felt about the judge's ruling.
It's a shame that I went into business with a liar and a thief. I'm so sorry about that, but that's the way the world goes. He's a thief.
Disappointed, he still seems to think that I'm a thief. I was never a thief. The money that I took out was agreed.
I never slandered his name. I just told people that were asking why the business closed down what happened. What did you spend £14,000 on in 5 months? 14k. What did you
Just
spend?
living.
Cost of living, 14 grand in 5 months. Some people don't earn that in a year, mate.
He's entitled to his opinion. Anybody that knows me knows that I've certainly not been extravagant in any way, shape or form.
I wish him all the worst in the world.
To be honest, the feeling is quite mutual, really.
For more Judge Rinder cases, click here. And if you've got a legal issue yourself, get in touch with us by clicking over here.